Today, you're connected more than ever. Your friends, your family, your life. Having a partner that understands banking is what you do on your time, anywhere you like. It's about being connected. Renaissance Bank, understanding you.
Sponsored by Renaissance Bank.
Good morning, Northeast Mississippi. This is Newsbreak for Tuesday, January 3rd. I'm Brad Locke. Thanks for joining us. You can catch Newsbreak every weekday at 7 a.m. You can watch it at djournal.com, Facebook, YouTube, or on the Daily Journal mobile apps for Apple and Android devices. Going to take a quick look at news, sports, and weather in Northeast Mississippi. Let's start with the Weather Underground forecast. For today, we're going to have overcast skies with a high of 67 degrees, low of 45, just a 20% chance of rain. The 3-day outlook, Wednesday, going to cool off considerably, mostly cloudy skies, high of just 45, low of 29, 10% chance of rain. Thursday, mostly cloudy, high of 42, low of 25, 0% chance of rain. And then on Friday, snow showers are possible, a high of 35, low of 22. They're calling for a 50% chance of snow, and we could get 1 to 3 inches of it. Let's take a look now at some of the top stories from the Daily Journal and djournal.com on this Tuesday. The 2017 legislative session begins today in Jackson, and lawmakers will take on several big issues over the next 90 days. One of those issues will be campaign finance reform. That is a high priority after the embarrassment of the 2016 session when the House leadership could not garner the votes needed to pass a campaign finance proposal. At issue is that Mississippi law does not restrict politicians from using contributions to their campaigns for personal expenses. There have been various reports of elected officials using their campaign funds to buy new clothes, purchase cars, and converting those funds to personal accounts upon leaving office. Any new law is expected to require credit card statements to be itemized on the campaign finance reports filed on a regular basis with the Secretary of State's office. Right now, the only restriction is federal law that requires politicians to pay taxes on the funds if they are used for personal expenses. Also this session, lawmakers must approve a budget for the next fiscal year, which begins July 1st, and legislators would like to make improvements for the state's roads and bridges that are in disrepair, but the problem there is finding a way to pay for any such plan. A longtime ambassador for Tupelo's public schools is being remembered for her care for others and passion for her job. Kay McKee Bishop died at age 55 on Saturday after an extended illness. The Tupelo High School graduate worked for the school district for 23 and a half years, both as a teacher and as communications director. She was among the pioneers of technology instruction in Tupelo schools and also was the district's first public relations director. When Bishop retired in November, the Tupelo School Board recognized her with a proclamation that highlighted her role in shaping the school district. Longtime TPSD Administrator Bob Monroe said Bishop was one of the biggest supporters of Tupelo schools and loved being a part of the district. Meanwhile, Nikki Peel said Bishop was always sincere and genuine in her care for others. Peel taught with Bishop at THS. Services will be held today at 2 p.m. at W.E. Pegue's Funeral Directors. Visitation will begin at 11. The winter edition of the Tupelo Furniture Market will be held for the first time in 10 years, and it's generating a lot of buzz. The market has normally held a spring market in mid-February. That's right in the middle of tax season and the President's Day holiday, which caused a lot of independent, smaller retailers to stay home. The winter market begins Thursday and wraps up Sunday, and officials say there seems to be more excitement with pre-registration numbers more than 50% higher than the last market. Tupelo Furniture Market President Kevin Seddon said the switch to January has generated genuine interest from manufacturers, retailers, and buyers alike. The Tupelo Furniture Market had a January edition a decade ago, but it moved back to February after a couple of years. By taking the first week of January for its winter market, Tupelo is ahead of Atlanta's popular home and gift show, as well as the Las Vegas market. And in sports, Matt Lubick's second stint at Ole Miss lasted less than 2 weeks. Lubick, who was hired December 23rd as the Rebels wide receivers coach, has accepted a job as offensive coordinator at Baylor. Ole Miss coach Hugh Freeze confirmed Lubick's departure Monday. Prior to being hired by Ole Miss, Lubick was passing game coordinator and wide receivers coach at Oregon starting in 2013, and he was promoted to offensive coordinator this past season. The Ducks ranked number 18 in the nation in total offense and number 29 in scoring. Lubick previously coached receivers at Ole Miss in 2005 and 6 under Ed Orgeron. This news comes on the heels of the hiring of a new defensive line coach, Trey Scott, which at that point had completed Freeze's staff after a good bit of off-season turnover. That does it for Newsbreak today. We do want to remind you to check out the Memo podcast, 3 days a week, all things Northeast Mississippi news and entertainment. You can find it in iTunes, your podcast apps, or at memo.djournal.com. Check out Monday's episode, in which we wrap up the year in news in 2016. And also check out Capitol View, a weekly webcast talking about what's going on in the state capitol with myself and Bobby Harrison. Every Monday about 2 p.m. You can watch it live at djournal.com or catch the replay later in the day. On Monday's episode this week, we previewed the legislative session that starts today. All the stories I talked about today you can find in your Daily Journal and at djournal.com. Follow us on Twitter at djournalnow. We're on Facebook as well. That's it for Newsbreak on this Tuesday. I'm Brad Locke. We'll see you next time.